The skies above Earth darkened as an unidentifiable fleet of alien vessels broke through the stratosphere, their sheer size dwarfing every human structure below. Cities bathed in artificial light fell into an eerie stillness, their inhabitants gazing upward in equal parts awe and terror. For Commander Victor Rains, a battle-hardened veteran who had weathered decades of Earth's wars, this was a moment he had dreaded but always anticipated. The alarm in the Global Command Center pierced through the low hum of activity. Victor's boots echoed on the steel floor as he approached the central holo display, where a colossal alien craft rotated in intricate detail. It was unlike anything the team of analysts and military strategists had ever seen, a seamless blend of organic and mechanical design, pulsing faintly with what appeared to be veins of light. Commander Rains called Lieutenant Marcus Shaw his second-in-command, a man of sharp instincts and steady resolve. Shaw was already at the console, analyzing incoming telemetry. They're in geosynchronous orbit over the Pacific. We've picked up some kind of signal. It's not in any language we recognize. Victor nodded, his gaze fixed on the display. Have you isolated the frequency? Shaw tapped the controls, his movements precise. Yes, sir, but it's more than just a broadcast. It's a pattern. Symbols, sounds almost alive. Dr. Elias Kane, a civilian consultant and one of Earth's leading physicists, joined them. He was younger than the rest of the command staff, but carried an air of intellectual authority. It's not just a message, Commander. This signal isn't meant for our ears. It's probing, testing our systems, even interacting with them. Whoever they are, they're advanced enough to use communication as a weapon. Victor frowned, his jaw tightening. What's their intent? Kane hesitated before responding. That's unclear. But if they wanted to destroy us, they wouldn't need to wait. This is something else, perhaps an ultimatum. Before Victor could respond, the lights flickered, and the holo display was overridden by a shimmering projection. The room went silent as an alien figure emerged, translucent yet imposing. Its humanoid silhouette was composed of swirling energy, its face devoid of features, yet exuding a presence that commanded attention. When the figure spoke, its voice resonated like a symphony of overlapping tones. People of Earth, it began, its words simultaneously incomprehensible and universally understood. We are the custodians. Your civilization stands at a crossroads. Prove your worth, or be erased to preserve balance. The message ended abruptly, leaving the room in stunned silence. It was Dr. Kane who finally broke it. Prove our worth, he muttered, his brow furrowed. What does that even mean? Victor turned to the assembled team. We don't have the luxury of debating their motives. We need to act. Now. A mission was quickly assembled. A small team, led by Victor, would approach one of the alien ships to establish direct contact and gather intelligence. Joining him were Shaw, Kane, and Corporal Adrian Novak, a young but fiercely loyal soldier whose determination often bordered on recklessness. Their shuttle, the Resolute, was a sleek craft outfitted with the latest stealth technology. As it ascended into orbit, the vastness of the alien vessels became apparent. The largest of them, stationed directly above Earth's equator, spanned miles in diameter, its surface a tapestry of shifting patterns that seemed to react to their approach. The labyrinth shifted around them like a living organism, its walls gleaming with an eerie, bioluminescent light. Each pulse felt deliberate, as though the maze itself was aware of their presence. Commander Victor Rains gripped his weapon tightly, his every step measured, his eyes scanning the alien structure for threats. Beside him, Marcus Shaw, his steadfast second-in-command, moved with equal caution, while Dr. Elias Kane's attention was fixed on his scanner, the device emitting soft, rhythmic beeps. Corporal Adrian Novak brought up the rear, his youthful energy tempered by a gnawing unease. "This isn't just a maze," Kane murmured, his voice barely audible. "It's adapting to us. The walls. They're reading us, measuring our reactions." Victor's tone was calm, but commanding. "Then stay sharp. If this is a test, were not failing. As the team ventured deeper into the labyrinth, the path ahead split into 3 distinct corridors, each marked by alien glyphs that shimmered with a faint, otherworldly glow. "Any idea what those symbols mean, Doc?" Shaw asked, his voice tinged with frustration. Kane adjusted his scanner, frowning as streams of data flickered across the display. "It's a language, but one I can't decode in real time. My guess? These symbols represent choices, and the custodians are watching which one we make." Victor studied the 3 paths, his mind racing. "We stick together. No splitting up. Kane, take point. Guide us toward the least volatile energy readings." Kane hesitated, then pointed to the middle corridor. "This one. The readings are calmer for now." The team moved forward, the air growing heavier with each step. The corridor opened into a vast chamber, its walls lined with shimmering, crystalline structures. At the center stood a translucent pillar, its surface pulsating with vibrant colors. "What is that?" Novak whispered, his voice betraying his awe. Kane approached cautiously, his scanner working overtime. "It's emitting a signal, but not just any signal. It's targeting our neural pathways." Before anyone could respond, the pillar flared to life, and a voice echoed through the chamber, rich and resonant. "Unity is the cornerstone of survival. Demonstrate your cohesion, or face eradication." The room trembled, and from the crystalline walls emerged humanoid figures composed of crackling energy, their forms vaguely resembling the custodian projection they had seen earlier. "Hostiles," Shaw barked, raising his weapon. "Hold your fire," Victor commanded, his instincts telling him this was part of the trial. But his caution was short-lived as one of the figures lunged toward Novak, its energy tendrils crackling ominously. Victor's reflexes took over. "Engage!" The team opened fire, their weapons discharging precise bursts of plasma. The humanoid figures absorbed the hits, their energy flickering but not dissipating. Novak, driven by adrenaline, unleashed a barrage of shots, his aim unerring. "These things don't die easily," Shaw shouted as he reloaded. "They're not meant to," Kane interjected, taking cover behind a crystalline structure. "This isn't a fight. It's a test of how we work together." Victor gritted his teeth, realizing Kane was right. "Shaw, flank left. Novak, provide covering fire. Kane, find us a way to neutralize these things." The team moved as one, their training and instincts kicking in. Shaw darted to the left, drawing the figure's attention, while Novak laid down suppressive fire, his shots forcing the entities to retreat momentarily. Kane worked furiously at his scanner, his hands trembling as he deciphered the pillar's energy signature. "There's a feedback loop," Kane shouted. "If we overload the pillar, it should destabilize the constructs." "How much time do you need?" Victor demanded, his voice steady despite the chaos. 30 seconds, maybe less." Kane replied. The corridor stretched into darkness, its walls pulsating faintly as if alive. Each step the team took was heavy with purpose and dread. The custodian voice had gone silent, but its presence loomed over them, an invisible weight pressing against their thoughts. Victor Raines led the way, his rifle at the ready, scanning for threats. Behind him, Marcus Shaw, Adrian Novak, and Dr. Elias Kane followed, their resolve hardened by the trials they had endured. "This feels different," Shaw muttered, his sharp eyes darting around the corridor. "Like it's watching us, waiting for something." "It is," Kane replied, his tone grim. "The custodians have pushed us this far, and now they want to see if we'll break." Victor paused as they approached a towering doorway, its surface carved with intricate alien symbols that glowed faintly. "If we're right about their intentions, this has to be the last test. No turning back now." With a nod, he placed his hand on the door. It shuddered at his touch, then slid open with a resonant hum, revealing a massive chamber. The room was a stark contrast to the previous trials. Instead of shifting tiles or labyrinthine passages, It was a void, a vast, circular arena with a smooth, metallic floor. At its center hovered a colossal, mechanical entity. Its form was humanoid but abstract, composed of interlocking plates of dark metal that shifted like tectonic plates. Its eyes were twin orbs of searing white light, and its arms ended in elongated, blade-like appendages. Kane's scanner began to whine uncontrollably. This is their judge, a custodian, but unlike anything we've encountered so far. Combat protocol? Novak asked, gripping his plasma rifle tightly. Victor's gaze never left the entity. No, this isn't just a fight. This is the final trial, and it'll take more than firepower to pass. The custodian's voice boomed through the chamber, no longer detached, but laced with an almost predatory curiosity. You have proven your logic and unity, but survival demands more. Show us your strength, your will, and your resolve. Fail, and your species shall remain unworthy. Without warning, the custodian lashed out, its blade-like arms slicing through the air with terrifying speed. The team scattered, narrowly avoiding the attack as the floor beneath them quaked. Move! Victor shouted, rolling to the side and firing a burst of plasma. The shot struck the entity but dissipated harmlessly against its shimmering armor. Shields, Kane called out, taking cover behind a metallic outcrop. It's generating a kinetic barrier. We need to disrupt it. Shaw vaulted over the same cover, his movements fluid and precise. How? We don't even know what powers it. Kane adjusted his scanner, his hands trembling as he deciphered the readings. There's an energy core at its center, a feedback loop that stabilizes the shield. If we can overload it. Victor didn't let him finish. You figure out how to overload it. Novak, Shaw, keep it distracted. The custodian advanced with mechanical grace, each step resonating like thunder. Novak opened fire, his plasma rifle blazing as he drew its attention. Shaw flanked, using his agility to evade the custodian's sweeping strikes while landing precise shots on its joints. It's adapting, Shaw yelled, diving to avoid another attack. It's learning our tactics. Victor gritted his teeth. Kane, we're running out of time. I'm almost there, Kane snapped, his fingers flying over the scanner's interface. It's using the same feedback mechanism as the pillar we overloaded earlier. If I can synchronize our weapons' frequencies. A deafening roar cut him off as the custodian unleashed a shockwave, sending the team sprawling. Novak hit the ground hard, his rifle skidding out of reach. Shaw pulled him up, his face set with determination. We need to hit it harder, Novak said, grabbing a grenade from his belt. If I can get close enough. No, Victor interrupted. You won't survive that, and we need every one of us to make it through. Kane looked